Yo, what's up, Crawdad? Hello. Hello, hello. How you doing, man? Oh. What's up, Trang Trong? What's going on? What's up? I saw Old School Pokemon. If you guys know who that is, should know who that is. If you don't, look him up. He's doing a eBay live auction. Apparently it's kind of like Whatnot, but eBay is doing it. It's very interesting to me. Your PSA submissions are finally in assembly. Hell yeah, dude. Live now, Old School Pokemon Premier eBay live event. See it on the app. Does it have to be on the app? Can you watch it on desktop, or is it only the app? See if I can show you what I'm looking at. I'm trying to see if it's possible to take a look at this. There's some replays. That's interesting. I haven't tried this out at all. It kind of sucks if it's app only. I don't do anything on my phone. I hardly do anything on my phone apart from occasionally just like accept some offers or whatever. But yeah, I would definitely watch this more on the desktop. So hopefully they'll have a desktop version eventually. But yeah. I'm stuck between a rock and a lazy place. So my recent video, both my videos from this week are popping off. Absolutely insane. Especially the one from yesterday where I show some cards that I feel like were damaged by PSA. I think it's fairly obvious that they did something to them. Not sure when or where in the process, but that video seems to be doing very well. I did hear back from them though, and they want me to send the cards that I think were affected by it back into them for review. I don't know if I want to do that. It's gonna take forever, because apparently they said that it can take however long. It's almost like a regular submission, so I almost think it would take at least a couple months for them to review and then figure out whether or not they're going to refund me. I don't know why they need the cards back in the first place at all. I feel like if they have the first scans and they also have the scans after it was graded, they should be able to get a rough idea whether or not the card was damaged in the grading process, because the first scans are literally, they're still in like the card saver and the penny sleeve from when you send it to them. So it's not even, so if it was damaged in shipping, it would show up in the first scans, in my opinion. So they should just be able to look at the first scan and then the scans after they were graded and say, well, yeah, that damage wasn't there before, let's give you a refund. But instead they're like, send us back all the cards and then we have to evaluate them or whatever. So I responded and was like, why do I have to send them back to you? That doesn't make any sense. They gave me some terrible answer to that. As I'll just read it because I don't quite understand. They basically said you have to send the cards back and then they can get evaluated. And I said, out of curiosity, why do the cards need to be sent back and gone through? If you have the first scans and the scan done after encapsulation, you'd be able to tell when the damage was done. So if the damage showed up in the first scan, then obviously I fucked up in the shipping and maybe they were damaged in shipping. I don't think that's the case. And then they said PSA requires all items to come in as part of the assessment. Please keep in mind, not all of our departments have visibility to customer interactions, like the conversation between you and I, which is why we need your items to come in physically for further assessment. What does that mean? Does that mean they can't forward the images that I sent them to a different department so that they can look at them? I'm assuming this is like a customer service representative, and then there is a like a I don't know, like an audit group that audits these types of requests. But can't they just forward the stuff that I sent to the audit people? That seems kind of weird. And so I just responded asking for the first scans because it's not really that big a deal. Like, there's a possibility I could get, you know, a few $100s back, maybe, if I sent them in and they refunded me like the entire price, like estimated value price that I listed on the submission. I don't know why they would do that, but I guess there's a possibility that that could happen. But at the same time, it's like, how long is it going to take? Like 2 months, maybe longer, maybe a little bit less. And in nines, like, I'm still going to make money on most of the cards anyway. It's not going to be as much, but I'm still going to make money on the card. So it's not that big a deal. It's more just for, like, I guess, clarity, figuring out if they actually damaged them or not. Or it would be for like a video, like a follow-up video, but it could take 2 months. So I just asked them for the first scans because they, you know, in the video I said they replaced the first scans with the graded scans in the back end. So you can no longer view the first scans, you can only view the graded scans, which is pretty shitty to me. It almost seems like they're covering their tracks. Like, oh, we don't want people to see what it looked like before it got graded. I don't know why that function is there if not for that reason. Just super weird. But then so I just asked for the first scans. Like, can you at least give me the first scans and I'll figure out whether or not I want them or not. So yeah, I don't know. I really just don't feel like sending them back and waiting however long and tying up all that money. Like, time is money, baby. I can't, like, it's to crack down on people trying to scam them, probably. Yeah, but I agree with you. I think that would be necessary if they didn't have the first scans and then the scans after. Like, they literally take photos before and after the process. So all they would have to do is cross-reference the two photos and see if something happened or if there was damage that didn't show up in the first scans, and then just refund. You know, even if it's a partial refund, if it's refunding the grading fee, if it's whatever it is, it's like, I don't really feel like you need any more evidence. Like, I don't know how much more information you could discern by me sending in the cards versus the information that you already have via the scans that you took when the items first came in. So yeah, I don't know. I understand it's like procedure and stuff, but it would be a gigantic waste of time, and I don't know if it would ultimately be worth it or not. So I'm trying to figure that out. Hey, what's up, Retro? Many a pube have ended up in my slabs as of late. It's gross, and like, I can understand it, but at the same time I kind of don't, because there are literally two different steps in the Domino's tracker for quality assurance. So it's like you literally have 2 quality assurance steps in your little Domino's tracker. And there's still like hairs that show up in slabs. It's like, come on, man. So someone is not doing their job. But yeah, it's kind of gross, but you know. Domino's tracker, yeah. You ever get worried about resealed Japanese boxes? I don't buy sealed products, so I know that there is a worry out there. I know that some people worry. I think it's. I worry about selling some packs that I have. Like, I've got a bunch of vintage Fire Red, Leaf Green, and Team Rocket Returns packs right here in this little display, and I haven't sold them yet because I'm worried about the process of selling them and people buying them and then second guessing their validity or something, and then having to go through the process of like, do I refund them? What do I do? I know that they're legit, but it's like, yeah, I think sealed product, especially vintage sealed product, can definitely people worry, I think, sometimes too much. Like, I think ultra modern Japanese boxes, I think you're gonna be okay in like 99% of situations. I think, but I really don't do it all that much, you know. I think some people worry like, oh, this box's plastic wrap is a little bit looser than this box's plastic wrap. This means, you know, this must mean that this is fake. It's like, no. There are lots of videos out there that are like, here's a really tight wrap on this Japanese box, and here's a really loose wrap on this Japanese box. We're gonna open both of them, and they open them, and they're both legit. So I think that it's tough to tell, but I don't know. I wouldn't worry too much, but I also don't do it. I also don't buy a lot of Japanese sealed, so. I've never bought Japanese sealed off of Bai. I have bought Japanese sealed off of eBay, a couple sellers that I like on eBay, but typically you're paying a little bit more for it coming from eBay. What's up, Landon? How's it going? Welcome. Really depends on where you buy them. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple sellers I trust on eBay. I've bought from them before, but their prices are just like everyone else's prices on modern Japanese sealed right now. They're pretty high. So, but yeah, I'm not a sealed holder on a lot of product. But your first scans have so much. Yeah, the first scans suck. I'm not quite sure what they're trying to do with that feature, because they take the scan inside of the penny sleeve, inside of the card saver. So there's glare, there's scratches all over the place from the penny sleeve and the card saver. There's like, it's like, it doesn't really provide good, like, clear information on the card. So don't quite understand like what its purpose is. The only purpose I could think of for the first scans is to be able to compare your first scan with your grade in case of an issue like this, but you can't access your first scan, so it's like, I don't get it. Take the most out of the sleeve, right? It's impossible. Like, when I first looked at first scans, actually, I might be able to show them in case people aren't aware of what they are. I can show you guys quick. Retro, are you watching Old School's eBay thing tonight? I saw that you can't watch it on desktop, or at least I wasn't able to, so I was a little disappointed. I was gonna take a look at it, but it seems like a cool thing. I like the idea of it. Let's see, first view. What card should we look at? Let's look at something cool. Look at this one. Maybe they're not in the card saver, but they're in the penny sleeve. This one actually looks a little bit better. I've had some where the glare is a lot worse. Let me see. I gotta make sure there's no information on the screen. Okay, I think we're good. But yeah, so it's definitely still in the penny sleeve. You can see like scratches all around the right side here from where the penny sleeve is all scratched up or something. But I've got two of these Magikarp in right now at PSA. Pretty cool. But yeah. Yeah. But this would definitely tell me if these corners are fucked up or not, if they would send me that information. So hopefully they send me that information. That's really what I'm looking for. That's really what I'm looking for. But yeah, everything's good on my end, Landon. I hope you're doing good too. I've got some people. So I was trying to figure out, there was a discussion happening in Discord recently where there was a really expensive set of, oh, what were they? They weren't Art Academy. What were they? This lady has some like complete set of some really expensive cards, or like a pack that includes all the, I don't know what it is, but people were discussing whether or not, English Versus, yeah. People were discussing whether or not they should be sold individually or they should be sold as a set, essentially. And I think the overwhelming idea in Discord was that they should absolutely be broken out and sold as a set, especially if you're looking for the Mac, or they should be broken out and sold not as a set, as individual cards, especially if you're looking at making the most out of that process. So I decided to do that for my graded packs because I have sequential sets, art sets of Fire Red Leaf Green and Team Rocket Returns. They're PSA 8, unfortunately, came back for PSA as 8, which is fine. But I separated them out to now be single pack purchasing. And I've had some more interest in them, which is nice. But I just want to get rid of them, man. I just want to sell them. Somebody buy them. Well, you guys don't have to buy them, but it looks like I might have one person that's interested in at a decent price. I'll get back to them later. So what's going on? Just bought one of those Magikarp, prices climbing. Yeah, the Versus decks. What's going on in the world of Pokemon right now? Is everyone still talking about the Moonbryon, or are we past that? Now it's all about Sun and Moon full arts, right? Sun and Moon alternate arts are the hot thing. Everyone went a little bit backwards. They're like, they got all spicy with the Sword and Shield alternate arts. They're like, ooh, these are awesome. And then everyone, I guess, moved on and we're like, oh, there's some alternate arts from the Sun and Moon block we need to buy up now. So I did see that the Gengar and the Mimikyu. Gengar Mimikyu. Isn't that like a really expensive card now, that alternate art? Japanese tag team prices are nuts, even the tag team Rainbow Treasure Climbing. They're light. That's why I graded them. I graded some light packs that I had. I would not grade heavy packs or packs that I thought were heavy. Not gonna do that. Not gonna imprison a gold star, a possible gold star. Not if I can help it. Although I have heard people say that gold stars can show up in light packs, which I didn't know that until after I sent them in for grading. But now I'm wondering if I should go gold star hunting and open up the rest of my Team Rocket Returns packs. That would be awful. That would be a terrible experience. That's like $6,000 worth of packs that I absolutely should not open. That would be the dumbest thing ever. That would be the dumbest thing ever. But if I did hit a gold star, probably be worth it. It only takes one, right? Sounds to me like you should do it. Yeah, I should definitely throw away that amount of money. Who knows how many of them are in the wild after that big theft? Well, the theft was, well, I mean, they could have sold some stuff, but they said that they confiscated the cards, right? Or whatever was left of those cards. So whatever was in those piles. And there wasn't really that many in that pile, that in that one picture, but you never know how much actually made it out of the factory or whatever. So yeah, I mean, there's gonna be a bajillion of those cards, so it's just gonna be a supply and demand thing. As long as demand exceeds supply, that card will be expensive. If that ever switches, then watch out. Everyone that has a PSA 10 Moonbryon, watch out. But yeah. Tag Team Rainbow Rares. That's super interesting. So I was actually looking at these the other day because my cards have been selling. This month's sales are up there. Like, I don't know. Last month was like nothing. This month was like, I sell like 4 or 5 cards a day. It seems like I'm selling just a shitload, which is great. I did get a return back that had a lot of like $50 and less cards, so like $35 to $50, and they were Japanese Charizards and character rares from certain sets, and those are selling like gangbusters between like the $35 to $50 range. Those are selling really well. Because my entry price was so good, I'm making like I'm only making like $7 to $12 a card on those, depending on which card it is, but I'm selling a bunch of them, so it's just adding up over time, you know. And then I did sell some tag team cards that I had available. Sold the Charizard Reshiram tag team full art. I sold a Arceus Palkia and Dialga tag team. Or that's not, is that, yeah, that's tag team, I think. Rainbow Rare. Yeah, I've definitely sold some GX, tag team GX stuff. I almost sold a Mewtwo and then somebody canceled and then I banned them from my... I'm getting way more loosey-goosey with the bans on my eBay, that's for sure. I banned a guy earlier today because this dude... So I send out offers midweek. Typically, I send out offers to people. Usually, it's like between 5 and 10% offers. Sometimes I hit like 7% is like my average probably that I send out to people. Typically, get a couple sales off of that. I'm not worried about, you know, another 7% or whatever, because most of my listings are they are, what's the word that I'm promoted for like 5%. So I don't mind if it goes for like 7%. But the problem, I sent an offer on a Nintendo card. It was a Nintendo PSA 9, I think, from the 1989 Topps. I think it was a PSA 9 Legend of Zelda card. What's up, Drew? How's it going? Welcome. And it was so funny. This guy messages me. Hold on, let me see if I can just bring up the messages, because it was epic. This guy got triggered and messaged me and says, there are listings for this exact card for $30. Why would I accept an offer for a significantly higher price? Because I sent out like a mass offer to everyone. Basically what happens is, if somebody looks at the card, or if they watch, you get put on like a list essentially, and so then I can send out an offer to you after like however long or whatever you have watched the card for. I can send out an offer and be like, hey, I'm willing to come down, you know, 7, 10, 15% on this card if you want to buy it, and then you can buy it for that price. So I do that every midweek. I send out these offers. This guy got triggered because I have a card that's obviously too expensive compared to comps. And so, yeah, there are listings for this exact card for $30. Why would I accept an offer for a significantly higher price? Okay, that was his first. That's what he's leading off with. Hey, what's up, Simon? How's it going? Australia? Thanks, man. Do you know, well, not personally. I know that everyone in Australia does not personally know everyone else in Australia, but the Pokemon Steven. If you like my channel, you probably like Pokemon Steven's channel if you're not watching him already. I'm basically like diet Pokemon Steven, so Definitely check that guy out. He's awesome too. But yeah, he's located in Australia, I think. That's really cool. I feel like Simon is a popular name from Australia. Is that a horrible generalization to make? But I for some reason I feel like Simon just comes off. Well, maybe it's just like a European name. Like maybe it's like a UK name, Simon. It's a cool name. I like it. Okay, so I just said, ignore the offer then. Have a nice day. Smiley face. And he said, properly ignored. And then I said, then after that I said, well, not really, since you felt compelled to make a snide remark at me, but okay. Have a nice day. And then I banned him. Ooh! I love people like that. Oh, it's not? See, my first name's Tyler, and for some reason, everybody and their mother decided to name them Tyler the year that I was born. I think Tyler was like unheard of prior to like the early 90s. And then once the early 90s happened, everyone named their kid Tyler. So now I am amongst a whole bunch of other people named Tyler nowadays. So yeah, that happened. It was a unique name when I was named it, but apparently everyone thought it was unique when I was named it, so. Fight Club, yeah. Tyler Durden. Fight Club was, man, that's a good movie. Is that late 90s or mid 90s? That might have been, 99. Such a good movie. Yeah, Josh's, true. Lots of Josh's, that's true. How's it going, Taco? What's up, Nick? Welcome. Oh, one thing. I'll tell you guys. So, I like making content that's not Pokemon related. But I realize that my channel is obviously very Pokemon heavy. Like, the algorithm looks at my channel and says, you are a Pokemon channel. If you make something that's not Pokemon related, I don't care. That's what the algorithm says. So, what I think I'm going to do is if I make something that's not Pokemon related, I've created a playlist on the channel that is a members playlist. So, like today, I released a video and then subsequently took the video down because it got no views in the first hour. And I was like, that's not good. It was a review of the new Guardians of the Galaxy. So when I make a video like that, where I review maybe a movie or a TV show or a movie or something like that, I think I'll probably make it like, I'll put it in the member list, and then it gives members a little something special, content related. It gives me a little bit more of like something to market memberships with. So I think that makes sense. So if you're ever wondering if there's more content out there, stuff that I make that's not Pokemon related, it's probably hidden behind a good old paywall. But it's hidden behind the paywall because of YouTube, not because of me. Maybe. It's just the best place for it right now. I think once my channel gets to a certain size, I'll feel like I probably can make anything that I want, and then who cares? But like right now, like it's got to be Pokemon related, or else the algorithm just like, hell no. What is that shit? Get it out of my face. So yeah. So we'll see how that progresses, but that is definitely a thing right now. And memberships are pretty cheap. I think they're like $1.99. So let's see. Met you at the shop. You showed me a rain. Oh yeah, nice. You met me at the store, and then I popped up in your YouTube algorithm. That's weird. Imagine if like our phones being close enough together, me being signed into my YouTube, and then somehow they like communicated with each other, and then you got home and I popped up in the algorithm. That would be scary. That's scary shit right there. But actually somebody else commented on a video too at one point. Oh, I did my weekend, I did the sale at the shop, and it wasn't very successful, so I made a video about, how that kind of didn't work out for the first one. And the guy commented and was like, "Hey, we just bought cards from you the other day or whatever." And I was like, "Oh shit, okay, cool." So I don't know. I guess I'm showing up in people's algorithms from people that actually buy from me, which is weird. But I'm still waiting for that first time where I walk into Target and someone's like, "Java." That would be the weirdest fucking thing ever. That would be so weird. But hey, maybe someday I'll get to that echelon of YouTuber. That would be weird. But yeah. I liked Guardians of the Galaxy, by the way. It was great. Obviously, a more in-depth review on the channel now if you want to watch it. But yeah, I really liked the movie. Thought it was great. Cried several times. It's a very sad film, but ultimately a very good movie. Good way for the Guardians to like finish their trilogy. That was good stuff. You heard Paldea Evolved is on Target shelves already? That doesn't surprise me. It happens every release. Stuff shows up early on shelves. I don't really know why it happens, but it doesn't surprise me. Paldea Evolved, I said it in the live today because they were talking about the PokeFlips podcast. They were talking about Paldea Evolved and how much they were buying of it and stuff. And I kind of feel like it's just going to be Rebel Clash 2.0. That's my thoughts on Paldea Evolved. Rebel Clash 2.0. It's a heavy emphasis on the new starters. And I don't really know how much people actually like the new starters. And that was kind of the same thing with Rebel Clash. Rebel Clash was heavy emphasis on the new starters, where the first set was heavy emphasis on the legendaries. Same with Sword and Shield base, heavy emphasis on the legendaries. So there's not a whole lot of like super popular Pokemon from older generations. Obviously you have Magikarp as like a character rare, right? And then some other stuff, but it'll be interesting for a bit. I think people are more excited for the Pokemon 151 and the Charizard set, the Crimson, Dark Crimson, what's it called? Black Crimson, something like that. I think that'll be a fun set because it's Charizard related, and I love Charizard because I'm a simp. Guardians was so good. Yeah, I agree. I thought it was really probably the best Marvel thing that's happened since Spider-Man. There's a lot that I didn't see in between Spider-Man and this, but I really haven't had much interest in a lot of it between Spider-Man and this. But yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad to meet you, Harry. Thanks for stopping by the channel. I appreciate it. Let's see. I wish I could watch the eBay thing. I'm really interested to see. See, I really like the idea behind this eBay Live. The eBay Live stuff seems super interesting to me because the eBay Live is basically, as far as it seems like Whatnot without the bullshit. Like without the duck races and the wheel spins, without all the gambling crap. It seems like it's just, here's the product, bid on it. Which is exactly how I would want like a live auction site like that to be. One thing that I'm not a huge fan of is obviously it's good for the seller, but it sucks for a buyer, is I hate extended bidding periods. It's so annoying. It's mostly the reason why I don't do auctions is I can't stand extended bidding. The idea of like, if any bid happens within like the last 10 seconds, it goes up another 5 seconds or whatever, and they try and milk everyone for as much money as possible. It's like an endurance race, basically, to figure out who actually wants the card enough. I'm not a huge fan of those. It's great for the seller because they make more money overall, probably, but it sucks for buyers, I think, personally. But yeah. Nick, any interesting experiences in Japan recently? Have you been to any shops? Lots of people have been going to Japan. I saw IO Collectibles went to Japan recently. And Pokemon Steven went to Japan recently. So that was cool. I haven't really seen a lot of vlog content from them. I'm not sure if they did very many vlogs, but I think Pokemon Steven came away with the same realization that I did, apart from his like massive purchase that he made, that he kind of teased, which was the Snap Charmander that he bought while he was there, apparently for like $70,000. Apart from that, it seemed like he came away with the same thoughts that I did when I went. Basically, go to see Japan. Don't go for Pokemon cards, because shopping for Pokemon cards in Japan is super cumbersome and it takes forever. And there's a good chance that you're not going to find what you want. So making that trip, you should go to experience Japan. And Pokemon cards should be like a secondary thing, not the main focus. So yeah, and I obviously wholly agree with that. I've agreed with that since I did my trip last year, which was literally I went for Pokemon cards and it was not worth it. But let's see. I have the link. You want me to post it in chat? Maybe we'll go. I tried to open. I had the link for the eBay Live thing before, and it didn't open for me in browser. I did try it earlier. What's up, Michael? How's it going? Welcome. What's up, guys? Really seems like the future. Hopefully they open it up to everyone. Yeah, I wonder. I think they should probably keep it like top seller status. I think that there should be a point in which you unlock it. I think that just kind of makes sense. Like, if you're selling enough and you have a good enough feedback to hit like top seller status, then it should be available to you as an option. I think that makes sense. Opening up to everyone could be like chaos, because there's so many more people on eBay than on Whatnot, for instance. And Whatnot has obviously an entire like onboarding and everything, and they slowly opened it up to more people and stuff. And going to your first card show tomorrow. Nice. Honestly, you said unfortunately it's mainly a sports card show. Honestly, that might work to your advantage, because if it's most, are you selling there or are you buying there? I live in the Midwest, so there's not that many Pokemon card shows. Are you selling or are you buying? If you're selling, it might work in your advantage, because a lot of these guys that go in for sports cards, they have kids. So there's a good chance that the kids will flock to your booth and the parents will have to, buy them something. That's what kind of happened with my Comic-Con that I did. I was the only Pokemon vendor there. Everything else was comics and other crafty booths and like all sorts of different shit. There's a Lego guy, lots of like action figures, stuff like that. And I was the only person selling Pokemon. And all the kids flocked to my booth, and the parents bought them cards. So possible. Do many people press clean Pokemon cards before grading? It depends what you're talking about. I have never, until you brought it up, I had never heard of people pressing a Pokemon card before sending it in. Never heard of it. I don't know why you would. Because typically when you're grading, if a card has a warp, typically they don't care about warping on Pokemon cards. If you're grading it, as long as it's not creased, usually they don't really care about whether or not a card has a warp. For cleaning, I mean general cleaning, yeah. So like if there's little gunks or whatever on the card, or fingerprints or whatever, you definitely, there's not like a professional service that you send to, like CGC doesn't do card cleaning before having it graded. I know like video games, when you get video games done, you can have like stickers removed, you can do like a full cleaning process before getting it graded, but I don't think any of the big grading companies do any sort of cleaning process prior to actually grading the card. Never heard of pressing Pokemon cards, but cleaning, yeah. I mean, people run a cloth over them. People like get gunk off of them. People will. There was a thing recently where people were like using this chemical solution to like make scratches less bad or something like that. I don't know. That didn't seem too popular though, and I'm not sure very many people really accepted that as like something that should be appropriate to do in the hobby. But I guess it really depends. What sold for you the most? At that event, because it was more of like a family event, the low cost binder cards, like everything like $5 or less sold. I think my binders were almost completely gone from cards that were $5 or less. Because what would happen is kids will walk up and the parent would have like $10 and they'd be like, all right, here's $10. You know, you can get 10 cards for $1, or you can get 5 cards for $2 or whatever. And then they would just go through the binders, pick out what they wanted, give me $10 and walk away. I didn't sell a lot of slabs. At Collecticon, I'm going to mostly bring slabs. And then in August, I'm doing the Comic-Con here again in my town, and I'll be doing everything. I'll have 2 tables at the Comic-Con. So I'll have a table of graded cards, and I'll have a table of like binders and stuff. That's kind of the plan for that. But yeah, low-cost stuff. Low-cost raw cards sold really well during my Comic-Con last year. Let's play a game. How many gold star Greninjas do you think are graded total and graded 10? Well, graded 10, I think they're kind of difficult to get in a 10, right? Because isn't the 10 still like in the $100 range for those cards? Maybe a bit less at this point. Graded total, there's probably a ton of them. I honestly have no idea. What is there, like 4,000 Moonbreons graded? So it's got to be more than 4,000 Moonbreons. It's 80-ish. It's got to be more than 4,000 because there's 4,000 Moonbreons. So there's got to be like 5,000 and 915. Is that the breakdown? 5,000 graded, 915 10s. That's less graded than I thought. But maybe because they're super cheap, like there isn't a whole lot of people grading them. And they probably go for like $10 in a 9. They're probably like extremely cheap. So it's kind of a gamble whether or not you're gonna get a 10 and make money on it, I would think. So probably not worth sending in until the 9 price comes up, if it ever does. There's 6,400 Moonbreons total or 10s? Because I guess I meant 10s. But yeah, total it might be 6,000. I thought it was 4,000 10s. Because it has like a 85% like gem rate or something. 83% gem rate. It's been a while since I made that video. PSA 10s is 6,400. Holy shit. I think I made that. How long ago did I make that video? Because it was only 4,000 when I made that video. Holy crap. There are a ton of those, aren't there? When was this video? It was a while ago. It wasn't this long ago, was it? Oh, it was. It was in November. Yeah, that was a long time ago. That was like 6 months ago now. 6,400 10s. How many total? Does it still have like an 85% gem rate? $5,310, 900 or 915 10s. That is not a lot for that Gold Star Moonbreon, but it doesn't surprise me because I bought a bunch of those at one point and they all were either damaged or had some sort of like whitening or something on them, even just sealed in the containers. How's my day been? Day's been good. I was super tired this afternoon. I actually fell asleep a little bit before stream. I was like, man, do I want to stream or not? Because I was sitting there sleeping. I had the cat on my lap. You know how that works if you have animals and they're like, the animals lay on you. I have a weighted blanket. So I had the weighted blanket on me, and then I had the cat on me, and then I was just like, I just slept from like 7 to 7:45, and then woke up and I was like, shit, I gotta stream. Shit, I gotta stream. Let's see. So, Evolving Skies. Evolving Skies. I'm kind of glad I bought a bunch of Tag Team full arts. Because I have a bunch of them at PSA right now. Oh, what's the card number on that one? 270? No, 197? What is it? That's Rayquaza. Holy shit. Oh, it's all the languages. It's like, what the frick? Full art. What the? Umbreon V. I still like the V better than the V Max, personally. I still like the V better. Personally. What? Oh, here we go. That's the V. That's the V. That's the V. Wait, where is it? 215? Is it not on the... Oh, there's 2 pages, that's why. $215. Umbreon VMAX. Secret. 6,510s. 1,003. Okay. Let's see. Calculate. 6,548 divided by 407 equals. It's still 78-ish% gem rate, so it's still close to that 80% gem rate. But yeah, it looks like the gem rate's going down a little bit as more get graded. How is there possibly... Oh, there's one authentic. That must be an autograph maybe or something. And there's 2 ones. That has to be people just memeing. Buying a card for $500, scraping it up and trying to get a PSA 1. Yeah, I like the V better, personally. Let's see. Japanese 25th Charizard. I should have bought way more of those when they were like $100. I kick myself every day on that set. So that set, the whole set was selling on Buy. You could buy the whole set with the reverse holos for like $400. And I reached out to Pokemon Steven because I saw that and was like, this seems really low for this entire set with the reverse holos. I reached out to Pokemon Steven and was like, hey, do you think it's kind of a decent time to buy these right now? Like these complete sets for like $400? And he was like, yeah, I mean, that seems good to me. And then I didn't buy any of them. Such a dummy. Now that Charizard is like $200 raw. And the other guy, all the prices from that keep going up. So I really like the 25th set as well. But almost 12K 10s. Wow. That's a lot. I think of starting another channel dedicated to your Pokemon business stuff, but I'm scared it's going to be a lot of work. You're scared the channel's going to be a lot of work, or just Pokemon business? Zelda question. What's the craziest thing you created in Tears of the Kingdom? I haven't created anything crazy. I've seen these wicked pictures of like engineering students like creating these like really old school. I haven't seen a lot of them. I heard someone created like a mech. And I heard there's an auto build feature that I haven't found yet. And yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff. People are getting really creative with stuff. I haven't gotten very creative. I will be playing more of that this weekend, though. I plan on playing that maybe tomorrow night and sometime on Saturday. Try to keep the gaming maybe to the weekend. Question is, will the price stay high with that many 10s? It's Charizard, man. I'm not foolish enough to bet against Charizard, so some other people might. I would love to hear someone make as good a, because I know there's a lot of people out there who like to hate on Charizard, right? Who they don't see the appeal or whatever. I would love to hear someone try and make like an actual well thought out with research or data, somehow explaining how Charizard is going to be surpassed by any other Pokemon in terms of popularity, and then which Pokemon they think that would be and why, because I just don't think it's possible. I don't think it's possible. I think Charizard is just too. It's too much. Like, even kids love Charizard. Kids aren't like, oh, Charizard's lame, I actually like this other Pokemon. It's like, no, they love Charizard too. So, I actually, I don't really want to make this a video, but I've said it before, is that I think that the most popular Pokemon are already popular. I don't think there's going to be any Pokemon coming out in the next few generations. Like, I don't think there's going to be a generation of Pokemon that will surpass Pokemon that already exist. I don't think it will happen. I think each generation might have a standout Pokemon, like Mimikyu, Greninja, Rayquaza, but the Pokemon that are at the top of popularity right now are going to continue being at the top of popularity for a very long time. I just really don't see that changing. I just don't see it changing. Because look at the last generation. Is any Pokemon from Sword and Shield stand out as like, this Pokemon's going to be popular 10 years from now? Any Pokemon from Sword and Shield? I can't think of a single Pokemon from Sword and Shield that I think is going to transcend popularity 10 years from now, that people are still going to be talking about. Flapple? No. Dragapult? Maybe. I mean, I like both Flapple and Dragapult. I'm just not sure, like, do people actually Snom? No. No, man. There's no way. Alcremie? I don't think so. It'll be interesting to see, because I think if you look at Gen, what was the gen before that one? Sun and Moon, right? Look at Sun and Moon. How many Pokemon from Sun and Moon stand out as like extremely popular today? Like Mimikyu. Any other ones? The Fire Starter. That guy, because he was in Smash. Incineroar, because he was in Smash. And Mimikyu. Like, are there any other ones that are just like, holy shit, I pulled this card in a pack, he's such an amazing Pokemon? I don't think so. Even Tapu Koko, like, I love Tapu Koko, he's sick. But when I pull him in a pack, and the set also has Charizard in it, I'm just like, who cares about Tapu Koko? I want to pull the Charizard. I want to pull the Umbreon. I want to pull these other Pokemon. It's like, and I just think what happens is the parents inform the kids on what's cool, right? And so kids will have nostalgia for probably Dragapult, Centiskorch, Alcremie, Flapple, like these Pokemon, because it might be the first Pokemon game they've ever played was Sword and Shield, which just kills me inside that is a kid's first Pokemon game. But that is going to be a lot of kids' first experience with Pokemon, is going to be those Pokemon, right? But Charizard is still a major, like, character in that game. And parents are going to inform kids on what is cool and what is popular and what people like, right? So the parents are going to continuing to facilitate the idea that these Gen 1 Pokemon are cool. Arcanine, Gyarados, Charizard, Blastoise, like that these Pokemon are sick, right? Because it's constantly reinforced. And then the kids will develop nostalgia for not only the games that they're first experiencing, but also what, you know, connected them to their parents, which Pokemon they enjoyed together. So I do think, like, I just don't see a generation of Pokemon that's popular now just falling off to something that's, you know, more popular in the future. I just don't see that happening. But I could be wrong. Who knows? I just don't see it happening, personally. All right, let's see. What did Michael say? Making videos and content consistently since you're a student. Like if I want to do something, I don't want to just give up when I get too busy or something. So it even worth doing. I mean, the way that I do my channel is just like I do 2 videos a week and 1 live stream. And those 2 videos are typically things that I just have coming in. So if it's like, I have a CGC return this week, so I'm going to make a CGC return video. Or I have a PSA submission going out this week, so I'm going to make a PSA submission video. Or there's this really interesting topic that people are talking about this week. I'm going to talk about it for 10 minutes for a video. Or like I just try to make content just cataloging what I'm doing. Because I'm not going to make content telling other people what to do, because half the time I don't even know what I'm doing. So you definitely, like, you're not going to hear me say typically like, you should be doing this too. It's going to be, here's what I do and here's what works for me. And then hopefully you're able to take that information, apply it to what you're doing, and see if it works for you. I'm not a person who's going to tell you what to invest in, tell you what to buy because I think it's a good buy, tell you to do these things, because I don't know anyone's personal financial situation. So me telling anyone what to do is just stupid. It just doesn't make any sense. So there are a lot of other channels that will tell you what to buy. I am not one of them. I'm just showing you what I'm doing, and hopefully it helps you in the future. So what's up, Boondock? How's it going? Welcome. Another thing that's low-key holding me back is I feel scared of getting judged for having a Pokemon channel, because most of my friends don't get Pokemon, so I'm scared people will view me as childish. I love Pokemon and stuff, but yeah. I mean, I don't have... All the friends I have are also into Pokemon. I had one close friend from college. We bonded over Pokemon. I mean, it was crazy. So we had an animation class. I sat next to this guy in an animation class, and we started talking about stuff. I think he had like maybe a Pokemon shirt on or something. I don't know what it was, but it was right when Twitch Plays Pokemon came out. And so we were in college and in an animation class, and we would watch Let's Play or Twitch Plays Pokemon and talk about it and stuff. And then we did animations for our final projects, and we both did Pokemon animations. And now Chris and I mean, Chris, you might, if you go back far enough, he's in a lot of my videos, and then he might show up again at some point. But Chris and I have been friends for a long time. But obviously, it's one of those friendships that's like, he lives in Illinois, I live in North Carolina, so we don't get to see each other very often. We don't get to hang out very often, but we catch up every once in a while when we have time, that sort of relationship. But yeah, so my best friend is also into Pokemon, so that kind of helps. If I had a group of friends that I was hiding Pokemon from for some reason, I don't know. I just don't think it's... Are you younger? I'm not sure people would care, because I feel like Pokemon's an anime and stuff like that is cool. Like, I feel like it's getting more and more popular and more interesting, especially if you're making money doing it. I feel like in like an adult space, if you're passionate about it and you're making money in it, you can kind of tease people into it with the money aspect, and then you can talk to them from like a Pokemon aspect after that. That's possible. That's kind of what I did with that's what I do with my parents sometimes when they're like, "What are you doing with like Pokemon?" I'm like, "Well, I made this much money last month." They're like, "Oh shit, okay, cool. Pokemon's pretty sick." I'm like, "Yeah." And then you kind of can talk more about it with them. But it's almost like a validating thing where it's like, "Oh yeah, I sold a card yesterday for like $400. Like, damn, really? Yeah, Pokemon's pretty awesome, right?" And now like my grandma watches my videos, my grandpa watches my videos, like all these people in my family now watch my videos. And now they're kind of into it too. So there's always like a connection point, like a stepping off point. So let's see. Thoughts on the Pokemon Classic set? I love it. I wish I could get one. but they're going to be so expensive right out the gate that I don't think I'm going to end up with one. I think I put in for the the lottery. So I hope that I get it. I don't know if maybe I've already gotten declined for it. I don't know how I'm going to get one if I don't pay like $600 for it, since they're like $300 retail or whatever. But I really like the classic set. I think it's really cool. I would love to get one, but just not sure. You're 19, freshman in college. Yeah. You can gamify it for people. You can make it fun for other people. It doesn't have to be like, look at Charizard, isn't he so cool? It can be, and most people our age, I don't know about your age, but almost every person my age played Pokemon at one point. So there is some point of nostalgia, no matter how repressed, no matter how hard they've tried to press down. Every single person that was my age growing up played a Pokemon game. So there is some sort of connection to Pokemon, whether they like it or not. So, I don't know about young people nowadays. Young people are just doing TikTok or some shit. I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know if young people even play video games that aren't like Fortnite. I have no idea. I don't know. Landon created his channel last week. Nice. You got any videos up yet, Landon, or just... Let me see. Landon created a video. Let's see what it says. Gee. I gotta look. I gotta take a look. Wait, I don't see it. It must be called something else. Because I looked up your username and it didn't show up. Okay, well... You'll have to share it with the class when it's ready, or if you want to now, whatever you want to do. What happened? Hold on, music. Oh shoot, that's what I did. Go back. Different name. All right, sounds good, dude. How's it going, Jeff? Welcome. How's it going, Phil? Don't let other people dictate your life. Do what you enjoy. True. Yeah, I think at a certain point you get to the point where like you just don't care what people think anymore. I think once I think in certain aspects I care what people think, and some other aspects I just don't. Like with the Pokemon stuff, I just don't. I think at a certain time you become successful enough with it that you're just like, I really don't care what you think about it, because either you're just so enjoying it or you're so successful with it or whatever that like their willingness to not participate or to not like, talk to you about it or whatever is just not worth it. I don't know. But I also have a history of like, ditching people. I don't know. All right, we'll see you later, Nick. Have a good one. Later, dude. Have a good day. We love our grandparents. Hell yeah. I love my grandparents. My grandparents are awesome. I need to go visit them. Literally no one I know collects Pokemon. That's why this community is so fun. Yeah, there's all sorts of people in this community too, which is super interesting. There's people who are older, there's people who are middle-aged, there's people who are very young that are getting into it. It's a really interesting hobby that covers a wide range of people. I think sometimes Dan, Catch 'em All Collectibles, talks about how he was into Steins for a while and how he would go to like beer Stein meetups because he used to collect Steins, and he would go to these meetups, and at some point like all of them, and this isn't really funny because it's kind of sad, but at some point like everyone started to not show up because they were old, and either they would not be around, or they would get sick, and they would stop showing up to the meetings or whatever, because it was a very old hobby and he was a young person in an old hobby. Where Pokemon is like, there's old people, there's young people, there's middle-aged people, like everyone, there's men, there's women, there's like every demographic you can think of is into Pokemon, which is super awesome. Let's see. 30 and collecting great cards. Some people get it, some people don't. This hobby's awesome. Yeah, I think the only pushback I ever get from people is sometimes they'll see a price and they'll be like, wow. Or it'll be a parent that'll come into the comic book shop when I'm there and they'll be like, people still collect this stuff? Just like, yeah, people do. Or a lot of people will ask me, what's the most expensive Pokemon card? And I'll say, it's in the millions. And they'll be like, what? Like, yeah, don't worry, you don't own it. You don't have it. I love those posts where it's like IGN or whatever, and they say like, such first edition Charizard sold for $300,000 or whatever, and then there's tons of people in the comments that are like, I had that card when I was a kid. Like, bro, no, you didn't. You definitely did not. But it's so funny how people react to that type of stuff. Let's see. How many times would you say you've been burnt by a buy transaction? Card wasn't as described. Card wasn't as described, or card wasn't like blatantly different, or something that wasn't visible in photos. That's two very different things. So like, I would say a dozen times I've had where they just outright send a different card, or they send a card that's like way worse shape than was in the photos. And I would say usually when I'm buying singles, it's like 70% of the cards are gradable and 30% of the cards are in worse condition than I originally thought, or than they looked in the photos. So but in terms of like whether or not I felt scammed, probably a dozen. But some conditions just really hard to tell from the photos, so that's always tough. But a lot of times I don't think it's scamming. I think it's just pictures aren't as clear as they could be, or the pictures aren't showing as much of the damage as is actually there. That's very possible. But the ones that are egregious, I would say like a dozen times, probably a dozen, where I've been either scammed or there's been like a bait and switch on a card. Let's see. How's it going, Mitty, by the way? Oh, hold on. Mitty said some stuff up here. I would have a Pokemon channel if it wasn't for work. You do you. Don't let your friends judge you. Yeah, typically I would say my weekends, at least one of the, well, how many hours on a weekend do you, it's probably like 4 hours on the weekend that I take to make thumbnails and videos. And then I'm always kind of thinking of like, okay, what videos do I have for this week? Do I need to figure something out? Some videos I put in more effort than others. But it's kind of crazy, like the low effort videos tend to do better than some stuff that I've done that's like high editing, high effort, which kind of sucks because I want to be more creative and I want to put more effort in, but at the same time it's like, if those videos are going to get like a quarter of the views is like another PSA return or another CGC return, it's like, well, I should just do another return video because that's what people want to see. So yeah, YouTube is a beast within itself, but I just try and make videos of stuff that I have coming up. So it's fun to do. And you don't have to have like a video every day. You could do one video a week and just give it a shot and see how it goes. Yo, what's up, Maki? How's it going? Welcome. Is that like 5%, 10%? Oh boy. I mean, I've bought like hundreds of cards. I would say like, I don't know, a dozen out of maybe like 500, 600, 700 cards. So somewhere up there. I've probably bought more than that. a dozen out of 1,000 plus, maybe. It's not a lot. It's not a lot. It's probably like 1% of cards that I felt like I got scammed on, like legitimately scammed. But I will say, you should, every time you buy from Buyee, you should expect to get scammed at least once. So it shouldn't necessarily deter you from using the service, but it's not uncommon for people, especially in their first few transactions, to get scammed or to get bait and switched, or, you know, to get, it happens a lot to people when they're new, and then when you continue to use it, you start to see like the red flags. But you just gotta hope that you're not. I would say to start, just to get the process down, maybe buy some singles that aren't really expensive. Like my first purchase was literally like a couple $100. The inspection does nothing. The inspection is just, I think they literally are just, they don't look at condition and they don't look at whether it's a fake or not. That's not a part of the inspection. I don't know what the inspection plan even does. I've used it a couple times, but I always use the light plan because I don't think the inspection actually does anything. So I just use the light plan because I don't want to pay for it. So yeah, got to do some homework. All right, Michael, so we'll see you later, man. Thanks for stopping in and asking some questions. I appreciate it. It's always nice seeing you. Haven't been scammed yet, still waiting. I just try to be very like I try to be very, not necessarily, I don't think that it's honest. I try to warn people, because literally I had two experiences immediately with Japanese proxy services. One of them was a site called Joss. That was the first one I tried. And then the second one was Buyee. So Joss I tried. That one I bought a big collection off of. It was full sets of all of the hollows and everything, all the way up to all of the hollows, full sets up to, and it came with the uncommons and commons. It was like super, I think it was like a couple grand. But in the description, it said, these cards are beautiful and blah, 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 beautiful condition. And I was like, oh shit, nice. Let me pick this up. So I spent like $2 grand, $400 in shipping or something ridiculous, or $200 in shipping or whatever it was. It comes in and every hollow has a crease. Like everything is destroyed. It was terrible. It was awful. And I don't think I ended up losing money, but I didn't make any money. Maybe I did lose money in like the shipping and the grading fees. It was bad. It was very bad. But that was literally my first purchase. I was like, hey, I think it's a good idea to spend $2,500 because I'm an idiot. And then I had to crawl my way out of that hole, which was really bad. So, and then my first one with Buyee was the Mario and Luigi Pikas, the full art Pikas. They were going really cheap at auction, and I was like, why are these going so cheap? And I had it in my mind because a lot of YouTubers say, Buyee is the place of wonders where everything is extremely underpriced and you can buy everything from Buyee and bring it back to America and make money on it. So I was like, oh shit, this is my chance. I'm going to buy the Mario and Luigi Pikachus. And I bought them both. I think they were like $200 a piece, which is extremely cheap. Should not have been. It should have been a red flag immediately, just see that they were going for that cheap. And I bought those, and it was like $400, and I got them in, and they were fake. Actually, I figured out they were fake before they actually got shipped. And I sent Buyee a thing and was like, hey, I don't want these cards anymore. Please cancel the transaction. I don't want these cards anymore. I know that they're fake. And then they were like, oh, nope. And they sent them to me. And then there was a big whole thing. But yeah, those were my first transactions. And that's how I learned That's how I learned to have the radar up at all times to make sure that I'm not getting scammed. So I don't know if it's bravery or if it's stupidity. I think it might be more stupidity than bravery. Yeah. But I'm definitely a person who has to fail to learn the thing. I'm not very good at hearing someone say something and then learning from that. I'm very good at making the mistake that they told me not to do and then learning from it. Like I have to, for some reason, do it myself for it to click in my brain of like, oh, that's not a good idea. Instead of just learning from the person telling me that it's not a good idea. So that's, yeah, that's, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but that's just the way that I learn to not do things, is to do them first. Hope you're doing good, Maki. That's just expensive. Yeah, it was really stupid. It seemed like such an obvious thing because it had a 2 of the CoroCoro Mews. It had a Karen's Umbreon from Versus series. Like there were a lot of great cards in it, but when they showed up, they were all extremely damaged. I was like, oh damn. But if they were in decent shape, it would have been a fantastic purchase. But they weren't. So buying lots of level X's right now. It's so fun to spend $20 to gamble on condition. Oh yeah. I've gotten pretty good at being able to tell. I spend a lot of time looking at photos. If there's no back photos, I don't buy. If the back photo is too blurry, I don't buy. Like there are so many things. Like a blurry back photo that looks mint, I still won't buy because it's blurry. So I'm like way pickier than I used to be when it comes to photos. But yeah, Baiyi can be a scary place for sure. For sure. What are my thoughts on rainbow foils? I like them. I think they catch some heat. I think the only thing that I don't like about rainbows is that they don't have unique artworks. So usually the rainbow is just a rainbowified version of like the full art or the VMAX, and they don't have unique artwork and then rainbow on top of that. It's the same with gold cards. Gold cards tend to be just gold versions of the rainbow. And some of them are unique. Like I think the Houndoom and the Snorlax, some of the gold cards are unique, but some of the gold cards are just gold versions of other cards. So I think that's the biggest thing that hold them back. I don't mind the rainbow pattern. I think the rainbow foil is actually kind of cool. I think they did a better job in the Sword and Shield era than they did in the Sun and Moon era. The Sun and Moon era, they're kind of washed out. They're a little bit more difficult to tell what's going on. But I think the Sword and Shield era, the rainbows look actually pretty nice. I actually like them a lot. But yeah. I think they catch a lot of hate. Unwarranted. I think they're better than people say that they are. A lot of people just say that they're trash. And they don't like them. But I like them. I'm a fan. Level X's are cool. I've gotten pretty lucky on a couple level X's. But when I first started buying on Baiyi, Japanese level X's were pretty cheap. And then I feel like now I don't see very many level X's that are decent enough condition to purchase. But Dan's got office hours right now. I haven't been in an office hours in a while. Oh yeah, it's just him and Sky. At the minute. They probably just started. I think with Dan's eBay Live thing going on. Or not Dan, Nick's eBay Live thing going on. I think a lot of people are checking that out tonight. But yeah, I think that could be extremely successful. I'm pretty excited about that. Man, what else? What else is going on? Anything else? Anything else happening? Let's see. Is there anything happening for me? I don't think so. Finally made it to Gerudo Town. Nice. I haven't. How many towns is that for you then, or how many tiers have you picked up at this point? 3 or 2? What are you doing? Cat's being funny. I'm excited to play some more this weekend. I thought about playing some more on Tuesday, but then decided not to because I was lazy. But I do want to play some more this weekend. 3 years for me. Gonna 3 tiers. Gotcha. Yeah, I haven't played since Sunday or Saturday, whenever the last time I streamed was. But I definitely want to. I want to play some more because, yeah, I don't know. It's good. It's a good game. It's the last of the 4. Oh, so you've done all. So you did the Goron town and stuff already? All that stuff? I'm at the Goron place right now, trying to figure out all that jazz. I got a CGC. Oh man. So I did a video recently where I did like a deep dive of my CGC return or CGC submission. God, CGC is so freaking fast, dude. They did like, it was like 2 days. The first day it went into grading, and then the second day it came out and they shipped it. It was crazy. Got way better grades than I thought they were going to. I thought they were going to be like majority 8s with some above and below, but I got like 12 9.5s and like a bunch of 9s and shit. It's like, damn. I did not expect that, but I'll take it. That's awesome. CGC gave me a little present. But very interesting stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I have a lot of content ideas for content that's not Pokemon stuff. But I think the members only playlist is a good place for that. So hopefully people will enjoy those. It's kind of nice too, because then I can just make that content have no expectations. I can just like put it out for the members, and they can watch it and hopefully enjoy it, whatever. And that's great. I think it makes sense, just because it's not Pokemon related. I would never do that with Pokemon related content. I don't think I would ever make any sort of like Pokemon stuff behind memberships, but the non-Pokemon stuff that I want to make, putting it behind memberships for now just kind of makes sense to me. So yeah, I think that makes sense. I don't really think there's anything else happening. I think it's a pretty wild world out there right now. Man, so many people have their conspiracies. When you make a video about PSA possibly damaging some cards, there are some wild conspiracies out there with some people. One thing that I thought was pretty interesting was there's one conspiracy, and obviously you guys, if I'm reading your comment out, I'm not making fun of you. I'm just generating discussion off of what you said. Okay, so it's okay. But this one was interesting. I got a comment that said, it would be interesting to do that Dark Knight banknote tracing trick on PSA submissions. Swapping out good cards for bad ones is not unheard of. So that, I guess, is the idea of being able to put some sort of tracker on a card and send it through PSA to see if it's the same card that you got back from PSA, or if it's a different card, because they apparently believe that there's the possibility that they're swapping out your good card for a worse condition card. That's an interesting one. It would be, I mean, that would take way too much. Like, they would have to have cards to swap, first of all, and then like it just wouldn't be able to. The amount of effort it would take to do that just doesn't compute. It doesn't make sense, especially on cards that are like $100 in a PSA 10. Like they're not even that expensive. But it would be interesting to send like a card with a non-noticeable tracker like through the system. You get to see like where it is. Does it get sent to different facilities? Like all this stuff. Like why does it take so long to do what it does? Does it just sit in, like a broom closet for 6 weeks before they get to it and then do all that? Like it would be an interesting kind of process to do, but let's see. Someone asked how the cards were still a 9 with such an ugly corner. I don't know. I don't grade the cards, man. I just, there is a possibility that the card was damaged in between it being graded and it being slabbed. So if it was damaged in that time, then it could have a higher grade than it probably should after the damage. But that's not my fault. So many people telling me that I should sue them. Like, hello? I'm not gonna hire a lawyer to sue them for like $500. Why would I do that? Yes, lawyer, I would like to sue PSA. It would probably cost me more to talk to the lawyer than it would like the money that I would need to make back. Like, you should sue them. What? No, I shouldn't. What? You understand that, like, I can't just call PSA up and be like, hey, I'm suing you for $500. They'd be like, all right, do you have a lawyer? Be like, no, I can't afford a lawyer. I'll be representing myself in this case. So many people saying I should sue them. And then one person says pop control. There's always the pop control thing. The problem is the cards that I sent in, they're not cards that would be warranted for some sort of pop control ethic stuff. So yeah, it just doesn't some of this stuff just doesn't compute. But oh yeah, this person is a person that I know from town apparently. Didn't I see you at the Comic-Con last fall? I bought the grade 9 Giratina and Garchomp tag team and some other stuff. Nice. Yeah, so this person apparently is from my local community here. That's cool. So yeah, quite a few local people are finding my channel, which is really interesting. How's it going? Go Sakana Bot? Go Sakana Bot. Oh, I got it. Nice, you got me. Let's see. If they can't have someone walk to another department to resolve issues. True, exactly. Let's see. Do you think Paldea Evolved will change? Okay, hold on. Do you think Paldea Evolved will change the market for Japanese chase cards? No. No. The Japanese market and the English market seem to be pretty separate on a lot of things. Like, I don't think that Paldea Evolved releasing is going to change how expensive like the trainers are right now from the Japanese equivalent. The Japanese market is so much more into like the female trainer like trend right now than the US is. I just don't think I think that they can influence each other. Like I think that the SV1, the promo coming out in the ETB, I think the Japanese equivalent of that might see a decrease in price further than what it is already because there's going to be a ton of them now in English. That maybe, but when there's like a big cultural difference where like people in America don't look at the waifu cards and think they're not as into them as the Japanese market is. So I think I think that in some ways it can, but not necessarily from the chase cards. The Iono that's like $2,000 or whatever. I don't think that's going to be like heavily affected by the card coming out in English. I just don't think it will. But yeah, personally, it could. I don't know everything about everything, but I think in the past, I don't think we've seen that. I think I don't think we've seen big changes in Japanese chase cards with English releases. I think back in the day, maybe you saw that a lot more because a lot less people were into Japanese cards. But there's so many more people into Japanese cards, so I feel like there's probably not as big of a shift as there probably used to be with English releases. What's up, Grumstein? How's it going? How's the stream going? It's going good. We're kind of winding down for the night. How are you doing tonight? What's going on? I've actually been looking at other. So, my favorite anime. I'm gonna say my favorite anime. So I'm gonna say one thing. My favorite anime is Hunter x Hunter. That's my favorite anime. So there are some pretty cool cards that have come out in Japan around Hunter x Hunter. So I've been kind of taking a look at that market a little bit and being like, maybe starting like a personal collection of Hunter x Hunter cards because I love that anime so much. It's freaking awesome. The other one, this one, Union Arena. I actually opened a box of the Union Arena cards, and I actually got some graded. Hold on. I don't think did I show them? I think I showed them in a video, but I don't remember. But yeah, I got some of these. I got some of the cards graded with CGC. So I have like the Gon, Secret Rare, and the Sukuna from Jujutsu Kaisen, and then a couple more. Got the Gojo and the Killua. So you think Paldea Evolved is a good set to invest in? I don't invest in modern. I don't do the modern sealed plays. Personally, I don't think the set is very strong. I think it will be kind of like I kind of call it the Rebel Clash 2.0. I don't think there's no real like standout Pokemon in this. It seems like it's focusing a lot more on like the new starter evolutions and stuff, which is kind of what Rebel Clash did. And people really didn't like Rebel Clash for a long time until it started going up in price, and then everyone was like, "Oh, guys, remember Rebel Clash? It's actually kind of a good set." So yeah, I mean, personally, I'm not super interested in Paldea Evolved as a set. But I'm also not big into the modern sealed stuff. So I don't yeah. Not the person to ask, probably. There's probably a lot of like modern sealed channels out there that would have a better answer than me. But I'm just not active in that part of the market. You picked up the parallels for Jujutsu Kaisen. It's so weird because like there's so many different types. But this one was cool. If you like JJK, the Sukuna Secret Rare got the perfect 10, which is pretty sick. A really cool card. But yeah, like there's so many different parallels. I feel like there's the action point cards, but then there's like the cards that are kind of black and white ish, where they're like more heavily kind of stylized in different ways. And then there's some cards that, yeah, I mean, there's so many different looking cards in Union Arena, but I think they're really cool. I think they're very cool. But yeah, there's some Hunter x Hunter cards from like the late 90s when it originally came out, I think. And then there's some from like the 2011-ish, 2012, 13 from the remake. And then, yeah, it's just cool. Action points are from trial decks, so if you picked up Weiss, they're SPs, and 2-star parallels are like case hits. 2-star parallels are case hits? Hold on. Hold the phone. Hold the freaking phone. How many boxes are in a case? Wait, where are my Union Arena cards? Where'd they go? Are they down here? Oh. So 2-star. What'd you say? 2-star parallels. So it would say SR and then have 2 stars. Oh, I have a... Oh. I was looking at this one because this one seemed different from all the other hits all the other secret rares, but this one is a rare with a star. And a lot of my other rares don't have stars, I don't think, next to them. So yeah, interesting. So SR and 2 stars next to it are case hits. How many boxes are in a case? That's good to know though, because I might pick up the Hunter x Hunter ones. Some of them are quite expensive though. Like some people, yeah, some people really, some people are really going for them. Some of them. But yeah, I really like Hunter x Hunter, but I gotta say, and I know that people love to hate on this anime, but I honestly believe that the peaks of this anime are some of the best anime that I've ever watched. And it does have valleys. It has pretty low valleys. You know, the quality of this anime is super high and super low at times. But my God, when it's high, it is like top tier anime for me. It's My Hero Academia. My Hero Academia like peaks so high and then it valleys pretty low sometimes. It's pretty inconsistent with its quality, but my God, I feel like, you know, there most of the time if I tear up watching something, it's because something is sad. But My Hero Academia has a way of like being so badass at times, and like the music and everything, that I'll cry at some cool shit. I'm like, holy shit, this is so awesome, and like tears are streaming down my face. I'm like, what is going on right now? This show is so sick. Yeah, for some reason, My Hero, when it peaks, it is damn good anime. And people shit on it, and I understand, but it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Rares with 1 star are like regular box hits. Not 100%. I watched a few people open boxes. That's what they said. Well, we could probably look it up. Let me look it up. Union Arena rarities. Union Arena guide. Okay. Alright. Let's look it up. Card list for Demon Slayer, Hunter x Hunter, JJK. Let's look up the card list for Hunter x Hunter. Stars? Holy shit. There's some really cool freaking cards. God damn. Okay, wait, but... Oh, there's a 3-star card. God damn. So 2 stars not even the most. 3 stars actually the most. It looks like there's only 1 card in the Hunter x Hunter set that's a 3-star. And it's a Gone Freaks. Interesting. Dude, these sets are so cool. What is the there's only 1 per set? The 3-star? That makes sense. How many 2 stars? 1, 2. The 2 stars look cool because they're like gold and they got cool like colored highlights, but they're mostly white. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's like 7, it looks like, in the Hunter x Hunter set. Let's look at JJK. Man, Demon Slayer has one too. God damn. I kind of want to buy all the Demon Slayer ones too. Demon Slayer is sick. Okay, so 2 stars. I'm not sure, Maki. I don't think so. I don't know if I have links turned on. I think it might just not post. Trying to think how you would even do that then. What are you gonna post? Maybe I can look it up. Well, these cards are actually sick. So there's only one. So Suguru Geto is the only 3-star in the JJK, looks like. Suguru Geto. It's interesting that they chose a villain for the 3-star in that set. Instead of like Gojo. That's a really good anime though. Holy shit. TCG Republic, all Union Arena cards, list of Japanese Union Arena, but essentially price is 2 times what it is on Mercari. Damn, really? Huh. I want to look at the God, these cards look so good. Holy shit. Looking at the Demon Slayer cards now. Oh my god, they're awesome. So Demon Slayer has 1 3-star. It looks so amazing. Holy shit. I love the artworks on these. So awesome. Yeah, I saw the prize cards because I follow them on Twitter, so I see whenever they post like the prize cards and stuff. They're pretty cool. Yeah, it's a really cool set. I enjoyed opening it, but if I could pick up the singles for not that much, I feel like that's kind of it's gonna be tough to do. Yeah, the promo seems to do pretty well. I have some promos at PSA at the minute. I decided to send these to CGC because I wasn't quite sure, but they did really well at CGC. Mostly 10s and 9.5s. But I don't know if you opened any boxes, but the Secret Rares had a lot of like fraying on the edges. But it seemed like CGC was pretty forgiving on some of the extra card stuff that was spent around the edges. But yeah, they're pretty cool. Been knowing you from the chats and everyone's channels for a long time. Finally made it to your channel. I have to say, great work, man. I love your channel. Hey, how's it going, Jack? Thanks for the kind words. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming over and hanging out with us. Yeah, I've been talking in chats for a while now, probably a couple years, and it's been fun. It's been fun. I don't know, just getting to know a bunch of people in the hobby and doing all that stuff. A lot of people have found my channel probably through chatting and everything and just recognizing my name or whatever. And yeah, we were just talking about some Union Arena, some stuff outside of Pokemon. But yeah, I'll have to take a look at more of the Hunter x Hunter Union Arena cards because they're just super cool looking. So yeah, I've hung out with Josh a couple times, the Green Shiz. We played Rocket League together. That was actually really fun. I want to do more of that, but yeah, the Green Shiz and I played Rocket League together one time. I was on his channel, he was on my channel. Pokeflips. You know, I know that Dan watches these, so I'm gonna call him out here and see if he watches all the way to the end. What's up, Dan? How's it going? It's so funny. Whenever these live streams go live, I'll get like 3 or 4 comments where he'll tag in certain areas, and then he'll like write comments out to me because he must watch like all the way through, which is pretty cool. But Dan was saying like 2 Pokeflips episodes ago, he was like we're running out of guests to have on. I don't even know who we're gonna have on next. Like, we're running out of guests to have on, and then obviously they're running out of guests. They had to have Ray on this week, which you know how that goes. But I'm sitting here like, what do you mean running out of guests? I'm right here, bro. No, I do not invite myself onto. How's it going, Ray? No, it was good. It was fun to listen to today. No, it was good. But yeah, it was just kind of funny. I was like, "What you mean, man?" But yeah, I'm not really a person to invite myself onto stuff, so I just wait for people to ask me on, and then I hop on. How's it going, Shovels? I said the same shit to them, yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I would even be a good guest on there because I'm not big on. I'm kind of like Dan, where I don't like to give like answers to people who ask, "What should I buy?" If you had $100 right now in Pokemon, what would you be buying? Like those types of questions. Like I don't answer those. Like, it was refreshing to have you there, Ray, because you actually gave like concrete examples of what you would be buying in certain situations. Like, I just wouldn't do that because I don't know. I don't know if I think about it that much, or if I just don't. I don't know. My channel's not really a place where I try and tell people like what to buy, or I guess I show what I'm buying. So if it's a question about what I'm buying, then maybe that makes sense. But yeah. I just wouldn't be good with those questions because I just don't have any I don't have any good answers. I just surf by Ian, and if something looks interesting, I buy it. I don't have many plans. But yeah, it was kind of interesting that you kind of got slammed by that one dude when you said that you don't buy things you don't like. I was like, I don't buy things I don't like. What's wrong with that? I feel like I have good taste. People should like the things I like. So I just buy things that I like, I think are cool. I'm not going to buy something that I don't think is cool. That would be dumb. I mean, there's a lot. Well, I'm trying to think if there's any cards that are expensive that I just don't like that I wouldn't buy if it was a good. I mean, I feel like I would probably buy anything if it was a good enough price, but I tend to just buy artworks and stuff that I enjoy looking at. Like, it just makes sense to me. Yeah, me neither. There's so many different ways to make money in the hobby, and everyone has different bank accounts and different experiences and all that stuff. It's so hard to give like good advice to people. So, because you just don't know everything about their situations. They could be that person on eBay that's like a $20 card and they have to wait for their paycheck on Friday. It's like, bro, I'm not going to tell you to go buy like a, I don't know. If you got to wait for your paycheck to come in on Friday to buy a $20 card on eBay. Yeah, lots of opportunities, true. Plus, if I get stuck holding the bag, I'm less upset about it. I mean, people are paying premiums for literal, like, shit-looking cards, PSA 1s. Like, it makes no sense. There are certain things in this hobby that just absolutely make no sense. I'm not touching the Charizard UPC, even though it's a good price right now. I just don't buy sealed stuff. I'm really not a good resource for sealed information. I just don't do it. I moved to a different house to have more storage space to hold more UPC cases. Nice. You can find them for the 45. The promo pack is 40, and the Evo Skies pack are another 40. Oh, true. See, I wouldn't be able to hold. I just wouldn't be able to hold them sealed. I would open them. I don't have anything that's sealed. I have no sealed. I have no sealed, and I've never bought a PSA card before. Or it was. I have no sealed, and I have never bought a graded card before. I don't know. Just never done it. There's only one graded card that I would buy, and it's because it's my Grail. It's my Grail card. And I've thought about buying it here recently because it's not super expensive for a Grail. But we'll see. We'll see about that. I kind of want to buy it and grade it myself, but the only mint copies are like it would. I might as well just buy the PSA 10 because the mint copies go for just as much as the PSA 10 does, pretty much. I don't collect a lot of English, much less Charizard, bro. What's the Charizard shade? Come on, Charizard's the best Pokemon in the hobby, obviously. I bought 3 graded cards in my life. It's when I first started, and they went down by half. Prefer to buy singles, but if I can get sealed to rip it, sell to break some to break even, I use the remaining to bring to cons. Yeah, I think with Paldea Evolved, maybe will be the first time that I buy a case to sell packs at the at my comic book booth. But usually, if I'm buying new stuff or buying packs at all, I am ripping it. I am ripping it. I can't keep things sealed. I would rather open it. I like it too much. The only thing I've kept sealed is my first edition Metazoo Cryptid Nation booster box, which was a terrible mistake. It reminds me every day of how dumb I am. I bought the box and it was $200. It went all the way up to 1,000. And I told myself, I said, if it gets to 1,000, I'm selling it. And then I held on to it because I'm an idiot. And now it's all the way back down to like 350. So stupid. I'm so stupid. I even told myself, I was like, if it hits 1,000, you're selling it. Now it just sits there. Maybe someday it'll go back up to 1,000. I'll stop eating for a couple weeks to buy a Radiant Zard. The one thing that's nice about Metazoo is I know that there was only 25,000? 25,000, right? The Kickstarter was 2,500, right? That one was 25,000? Yeah, 25K. And that's not a lot of boxes. And I think a lot of the boxes have been ripped at this point, so I'm just chilling. The way that I thought about it is I thought about it and I said, if I could go back in Pokemon and buy a first ed box, would I have a first ed sealed box? Yes. So, not saying that Metazoo is going to be like Pokemon, but if you had the chance to go back, you'd probably buy one and keep it sealed. A part of me was like, okay, well, it's not the first, it's not technically the first box, but it is the first box, first edition. And if Metazoo like blows up and becomes like the next big thing in a decade or whatever, which I mean, who knows? But I got a box. Who knows what could happen? And I'm not into it for that much, so might as well. Might as well. Now I'm just coping. I'm just coping. Been working for these past 3 years on an English Charizard PSA 10 Master Set. Oh man, that would be so hard. That one would be impossible. The Pikachu Master Set would be impossible. Like, I could not be Professor Oak. Professor Oak trying to do the Pokemon Master Set or the Pikachu Master Set is just like you may never complete that. You have to get the trophies, the Pika trophies. You have to get the Illustrator. Yeah, you have to get like all these insanely expensive cards, like millions of dollars worth of cards. Like, bro, you're not like that's the likelihood of that happening is. Metazoo doesn't have very good rules, not playable. It's got a pretty big player base. I feel like the thing keeping Metazoo alive right now is the player base. I feel like a lot of collectors have hopped off the train. But Metazoo has like big tournaments at all of these like Collecticons and stuff. They have big like high dollar amount tournaments. It seems like it's fairly decently playable. Yeah, I think the people that are left, I think a lot of people that are left in MetaZoo itself are actual players. But I just think playing card games nowadays I don't know. Well, I feel like Pokemon's really the only card game that doesn't have like a core, like I mean, it has players, but it's not. It seems like Pokemon's more collector focused, where like Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, MetaZoo. Does anyone even play Dragon Ball Super? Does anyone play Digimon? Like, I feel like those Fab. I feel like those ones are very much held up by their player base, where Pokemon is much more like a collector base. Lorcana will go to the moon, yeah. It's gonna moon out the gate though, which is definitely a scary thing. That's a little bit scary. When something moons out the gate, you never know what could happen. Because it could moon out the gate, Disney could make a whole bunch of money, and then Disney could say, well, that was fun. And then turn around and walk away. It's possible. It's possible with any of these games, you know, that people just pack it in. The scary thing about... I feel like the kind of scary thing about Lorcana is like Disney doesn't need it to succeed. Right? It's like Disney is very, like, rich. They have so many other things that are successful. They make so much money elsewhere that Lorcana succeeding is probably on the bottom of the totem pole to, like, they don't need that card game to succeed. They're not like all in. Like, it's not like a MetaZoo where it's like one guy creating a card game and really putting everything into it and trying to make it succeed. But it does have a large established IPs and everything. It could grow and be massive and be super expensive, but I will not be buying any of it out the gate. I'm gonna figure out where it's gonna settle because it's gonna come out the gate hot. Anyone who's been to Disney World will know that Lorcana will be printed so much it will destroy all value. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what their plans are for like print run. But I think the cards look, I haven't seen a lot of them, but what I've seen, I think the cards look pretty cool. I'm just not going to buy any at the price that they have. Now, it is interesting though because I feel like their biggest like IPs that people care about are Marvel and Star Wars. So it's like, I guess they have like the old school, like the Disney movies, like the old school Disney princesses and stuff like that. They got all that. But it's like you have Marvel and Star Wars are like probably your biggest IPs right now. Both of them already have card games. Like Star Wars already does stuff. Marvel already does stuff. So it's like they have like Upper Deck or whatever that they go through, or Tops or whatever it is. So it's like, are they going to even have that in Lorcana? Or is Lorcana going to be mostly like Mickey and Donald and, all the other ones that they have, like Peter Pan and all that stuff. But see how it goes. It might grow as it goes along. Growing up, there were a lot of people that were literally just Mickey collectors. Like, they just collected everything that had Mickey on it. Everything that had Mickey on it was collected. I've never been to Disneyland or Disney World or anything Disney, so I don't have like a big connection to Mickey Mouse or Disney because I never traveled to any of those theme parks. Oh, yeah, I mean, I hope all this stuff is successful. I'm not rooting for anything to fail. I've never rooted for MetaZoo to fail. I won't root for this to fail. Like, I'm down for any of it. I wish Nintendo would make a Super Smash Bros. TCG. Retro was in here the other day. We were talking about that. Super Smash Brothers TCG. That would be sick. You get every character from Super Smash Brothers in a TCG. It's already like a battle situation, so you can fight each other in the TCG with the different characters. Good night. A Super Smash Brothers TCG would be insane. That would be awesome. But yeah. Just wish Nintendo would take advantage of their IP power. Yeah, the problem with, it's always been a problem with Nintendo, especially in the video game part of it, is like the amount of IPs that they have just in the gaming section that they don't touch or don't make any more games out of, that they could make like a bunch of money from. I think they just have limited resources and they don't want to give their IPs up to other companies to make stuff with, because I don't know if it's like if it's like a pride thing or they care too much about the, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I've always wished that Nintendo would be a bit more loose with, you know, hiring on like third-party developers to make cool games. But they seem to always want to do it themselves, but they have limited resources, so a lot of IPs get shoved to the side for the newest you know, Zelda game or Mario game or whatever they're making again. Makes me insane I haven't played a good Star Fox. I never played the well, I wasn't a Nintendo kid, so I didn't get to play like Star Fox on GameCube. Wasn't there a Star Fox Assault or something like that on GameCube? I don't know if any of those were any good. But yeah, Nintendo has a lot of money they can make just sitting, and they don't do anything with it. They haven't been good since 64. I did play the 64 one. 64 one's fun. 64 one's very fun. But all right, guys, we've hit that 2-hour mark. It's 10 o'clock. It's time for me to go to bed. So I appreciate you guys being here, though. Thank you very much for stopping in and hanging out with me tonight. Nintendo Land at Universal, that'd be sick. When I was in Tokyo last, I thought about going to the Super Nintendo World or whatever it is in Tokyo, but the tickets were kind of expensive and it didn't look super big. But yeah, maybe I'll go back the next time I'm there. That'd be cool. But yeah, I appreciate you guys being here. Ray, thanks for stopping in. Crawdad, Harry, it was nice seeing you again. And Chevels and Jack and Maki and everyone that stopped. So many people stopped in tonight. I really appreciate it. I know I didn't have anything planned to talk about, but I feel like we talked about a bunch of cool stuff. I like when people hop in and ask questions and get the party rolling, and that definitely happened tonight. So thank you guys very much. One last plug on the memberships. Memberships will be getting exclusive content, so movie reviews, video game reviews, stuff that's not Pokemon related. So if you're interested in hearing my thoughts on a movie or whatever, and I happen to do a review, all of that stuff is membership only. So it's $1.99 is the lowest tier. That'll unlock those videos going forward. I have one video there now, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 review. If you want to unlock that and watch it, the $1.99 membership is the way to do that. So, but I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.